Namaste. Welcome back to Udai's Quickest Movie Reviews. As always, this is Udai back with some wonderful filmmakers and their work that we are going to review in our show. Now, before we start, let us thank all those subscribers who have been supporting us a lot. And if you are new to our channel and not yet subscribed us, now is the right time to hit that subscribe and the bell icon and be a part of our show. And if you are already a subscriber, now is the right time to hit the share button and share our program to all those filmmakers who have a great film and has to be encouraged by all of us. With that, let's get right into the show. Now, coincidentally today, we have all the international entries lined up for us. So let us call this a special international episode. In this special international episode, the very first movie that we are going to review is a film from Belgium. The title of the film is This No Land. With a screen time of 16 minutes 22 seconds, the film is hosted on Alexander Decomore YouTube channel. The film basically starts with this old man who looks like a cowboy looking at a grave where he is having an 8 years old blonde girl's photograph along with a Disney mask. Pulling himself together, the person takes this mask and the photographs to walk towards his car. And when he enters his car and he starts, we see a blonde 8-year-old girl sitting in the car and asks him to drive her to this Disneyland. The old man then gives her the mask, asks her to wear it, and promises her that they will go to Disneyland, and he starts driving. On the other hand, we see this gay couple who are really in a bad mood as they are rejected to adopt a child by the authorities, and they are discussing with each other. And as they discuss, one of these guys say that they have to kidnap a child, but then the other one thinks otherwise and says it is not the way that they are going to get a child. And simultaneously we see this other couple on the same road, and the guy is telling this girl that she has to take pills in order to avoid children, and the girl disagrees with him as she doesn't want any medication to get into her system. Somehow all these three couples end up in a gas station nearby where this old man falls sick, and the girl and the guy discovers that the girl with this old man is reported missing. Exactly then, the gay couple happens to enter this gas station and try to rob it. Things get messy, and then there is this untold story that starts unraveling that will completely change the dimensions of the climax. That, my dear friends, will blow your mind off. The climax is one of the best parts of this film. Now, coming to the technical part, written by Jane, directed by Alexander, this is one of those wow factor movies that we have reviewed in our show so far. Frankly, this is one of those rarest movies that have composed loneliness of a man so beautifully and perfectly possible. The way film is written and composed really left tears in my eyes. The direction of the film is really wonderful. Every aspect of the film is carefully crafted to the perfection. The character design and the choice of the actors and locations are so good that we forget that this is a short film and get involved into the visual. Coming to the camera, cinematography of the film is done by George Peter Rodriguez, one of the best cinematographers, I must say. When it comes to the camera movement, the framing and the way things are engineered, I must say cinematography of this film is remarkable. Moving on to editing, editor Miss Matthew is the hero of this film. The very nice cuts, frames are really wonderful. The color tone given to this film is the highlight of this film. It is the very first time I'm seeing that Wild West color tones or the feel of the film that really made me fall in love with this film. Trust me when I say this film is an eye candy to watch. To conclude, this is a very emotional, technically sound, and heart-touching movie to watch. I wish we get to see more of these kind of films in our review show. Wishing the whole team a very best for the upcoming movies. Here at Udai's Quickest Movie Reviews, we rate This No Land a 4.5 star in our show. All the best.
This is Nolan. This is Nolan is a story where there are three cars which consist of 6 different individuals traveling on a route. The first car consists of a grandfather and a daughter. The second car consists of a couple, and third car consists of two men who have some armed guns in their car. On the way home, they meet in a place, and what happens next is the exciting part of this story. The story, screenplay, direction is simply a top-notch. A brilliantly shot visuals aided with a wonderful editing makes this script a perfect Hollywood movie look like. I really was so satisfied and so happy after seeing such a wonderful movie, and thank you to each and every individual in this movie who have showcased and have given the strength or have lived in that movie more than acted in that. With this, I rate This Is No Land a 4-star in the show. Good luck.
The next movie that we are going to review in our review show is Hope. With a screen time of 6 minutes 45 seconds, Hope is a social awakening or a religious propaganda film posted on Amon Kisi YouTube channel. The movie basically is about this young man who is working for a company, and during the lockdown, the company decides to reduce its staff, during which the young man loses his job. Unfortunately, the young man loses his wife and his kid in a car accident which leaves him heartbroken. He starts losing his hope in life. After several attempts, he cannot get a proper job. The troubles start building in all the directions, and that is when he decides to end his life. And exactly when he wants to kill himself or die, he happens to see this person who is giving a testimony on his phone. How will this testimony help him to gain back his hope on life is the climax of the film. Coming to the technical part. As I could not find any details of technical team, I would say this film is handled by Amon Kesi team. To start with, the film really had a very interesting subject. But then, as film goes on, I feel the gravity was getting too light scene by scene. Personally, I think the movie could have been much interesting if the reality of the film was maintained rather than jumping onto a magical ending given to this film. The movie had really a very decent camera work. I personally love that 360-degree camera where the hero is lying and the camera is coming from the top in a 360 rotation. However, I really could not understand why did they use a lot of back shots which were really not making any sense in the beginning. Editing was good, the cuts were good, but then I think with a different kind of color tones, the movie would have looked much better and much acceptable for your eyes. To sum up, this is a good film. It encourages the belief system in God. It partly showcases the life or struggle of people who lost their jobs during this pandemic. But then, with a tight screenplay and with a bit realistic storyline, I'm sure the team would produce much better outputs than what we are seeing. With that, here at UD's Quickest Movie Reviews, we rate this film, Hope, a 2.5 star in iShow. All the best.
Hope. Hope is a wonderful concept, and it's again issues which goes to the lockdown period, where we see a guy who is getting unemployed due to this pandemic, and he goes into a depression because he has lost so many things in his life. There are so many commitments in his life. Whether he comes across those hurdles, if yes, how, if not how, is the rest of the story. The story, screenplay, direction is simply good. I like the way it was narrated. The concept was so simple, but the way it was portrayed, that is the matter of the biggest strength in this movie. The cinematography was good. There were beautiful shots in between which I really liked, and it had a good editing as well. With this, I rate Hope a 3 out of 5. Good luck.
Now that brings us to the last movie in the international special episode, guys. And the very last movie that we are going to review in international special UD Quickest Movie Reviews is Routy and Troy. With a screen time of 10 minutes 6 seconds, this is a short fantasy comedy hosted on Cheers TV YouTube channel. The movie basically starts with these two crazy roommates who decides to smoke weed. After searching a lot, they find weed in this guy's back pocket. And in a very magical way, they find this black square in the television room of this guy's. In their attempt to know what this is, they discover that anything they put into the black square will disappear magically. Now, what happens next? What else are they going to put into this black square? And how will their karma come back to them? Is a very comic ending given to this film. Now coming to the technical part, this film is directed by Mr. Chesley. As long as I was watching this movie, I was remembering this 2004 comic film, Harold and Kumar. I really loved the plot of the film. I was expecting a lot when this movie started. But then, because of the long screen time or an artificial chemistry between these two actors, I could not feel this film as funny as it had to be. Though I must say, this is a fantastic attempt by the makers. DOP Steven John did a very good job, but then I still think there was a lot of angles or a lot of experimentation that he could have made to make this film more believable. Coming to editing, Herman did a decent job. I'm sure he could have given much better color, but then whatever he did was really decent enough to watch. As this is a comedy flick, there is no point in looking at the logic, but then if only you could have squeezed the film a bit short, I think that would be more fun to watch. Hope to see many more comedy-based films from this team. Here at UD's Quickest Movie Reviews, we rate this film a 2-star in iShow. All the best.
Routy and Troy. Routy and Troy is a comical movie, and it's like what happens when two friends get on a hangover, or when they are on a hangover, what happens is the story. The story, when it comes to story and the screenplay, it was decent. But when you think logically, there are few things which doesn't go through. But yes, since it's a hangover, you should not look into those logical mistakes and all. The cinematography did its part, not much, but it did its part, and so does the other technical stuffs. Overall, it was a good movie and could be watchable once. With this, I rate Rory and Troy a 2.5 out of 5. Good luck.
So guys, hope you enjoyed our show today. That's it for this week. But then we are going to come back next week with some more wonderful filmmakers and their work that we are going to review in our show. But then before we go, let me remind you that all these film links are given in the description below, and you can watch all these films by hitting the link given in the description. We request you to watch each and every movie and let us know what do you think about these movies. And if you are a filmmaker and wants your movie to be reviewed by us in our show, all you have to do is get into our description. There are social networking links given below. All you have to do is click one of them, inbox your film along with a request saying that you want to take part in our show, and we are going to review your film in our show. And also guys, we wanted to invite you all to our WhatsApp group. The link is given in the description below. Hit the link, be a part of our WhatsApp group. We have a lot of wonderful filmmakers in the WhatsApp group where we exchange thoughts, we talk about filmmaking, we basically exchange the techniques, what we know about filmmaking. A lot of things are happening in our WhatsApp group. We want you guys to be a part of. And also guys, we wanted to remind you that every Sunday we have a filmmakers discussion that is called F-Axis. If you have seen our episodes before, you would have understood that this F-Axis is all about discussion of filmmakers and their point of views, their understanding of the filmmaking, or their stands about filmmaking or the OTT platforms, or a lot of media related discussion happens in this discussions. And we are going to make a program out of this, and that will be hosted on our channel every Wednesday at 6 o'clock. We invite you guys to take part in this F-Axis program. So as always, thanks to Mr. Venkatesh for being our special reviewer of the day. Until we meet next week with some wonderful filmmakers and their work that we are going to review, this is me, Udai, signing off. Namaskar.